Hello beautiful friends. This is the first video that I have made in a series I will be making over the next 4 months as I follow the rose line through Europe. This is my first port of call, which is in the New Forest at Brockenhurst in southern England. And you may have seen my video yesterday where I just shared that this is where I land. This is my favourite place now to land when I arrive, and I'm acclimatizing to this beautiful land, to the new time zones. And as you can hear, it is so peaceful here. It is so grounding here. And I've been excited to share this video with you. It's very peaceful. You may get some noises of people passing, dogs, aircraft, because it's not that far from Southampton Airport. But overall, just to receive this peace, this beauty. And I want to share with you in this video why I've realized this is a portal for the rose line. About 3 days ago, my first day here, I came into these woods not far from where I am sitting now, and I recorded some activations for some ladies in my community. They were very powerful, they were magical, and then I recorded a meditation. And that meditation gave me such a gift. And I've been pondering what came through in that meditation. And what I realized is that here, this land, is a portal to Middle Earth. And it is being held, activated, guarded perhaps, protected by the elemental beings here. And as you watch this video, you may notice some dancing around me, in the trees, in the water. They're truly everywhere. So whether you have your eyes open and you're seeing them, or whether you close your eyes and see them, I do a bit of a mix of both. But I have been amazed at how many elementals I've seen here. And something I realized in the recording of that meditation that I was talking about was that the frequency here is so pure and so close to the fifth dimensional frequency because of the harmony held in the land here, that the veil is thinner between worlds. So it is much easier to connect and to see the elemental beings here. So the thing with the rose line, and in my understanding of the rose line and what I share and teach and write about, speak about, is that it is ultimately, it's about the sacred union within, which is the harmony between your yin and yang, your masculine, feminine, however you want to term it. It is finding that place of harmony. And in that place of harmony, that is where you shift into a fifth dimensional frequency. That is the frequency required for the creation of new earth. And so that frequency is reflected here in the land. And this is why the elemental beings are so powerful here. Because something about that frequency, about that 5D frequency, is that in that frequency you are fully connected to everything. You are fully connected to this beautiful tree, this wisdom keeper that has its roots in the earth and its branches reaching up as a galactic antenna, if you like, There is so much wisdom in this tree, in all of this nature. And our natural way is to be in full connection with this, to be in communion with this. And we forgot that. That was taken from us. That is Eve being expelled from the Garden of Eden. She lost her connection. We've lost our connection, but we are remembering. And the elemental beings in places such as this are helping us to remember. When you sit in beautiful nature, pure nature like this, and it doesn't have to be out in the middle of nowhere. As I said, there are planes flying overhead here. The village isn't far away. But you know when you go there that the land is sacred. You know that these magnificent guardians and the elemental guardians have held that land sacred for us, for when we are ready to return, for when we are ready to connect and remember. And this is why it is vital to spend time in these places. Now I'm going to go another step further with this. These are the most powerful places to manifest, to create. And why is that? Because you're connected to everything. What brings about creation, manifestation, is your recognition, your knowing that you are one with everything. Because when you fully embody that, there's no lack. There's no insecurity, no feelings of not being safe. Because you are one. You are one with this magnificent nature. And think about the fairies, the elemental beings. You never think about them in lack, do you? You think about them as being magical creatures. They manifest instantly. And if you close your eyes and go into that world and imagine that you're there, I can assure you, you would be imagining that you just create everything as you need it. And you might call that magic. It is a magic, but it's actually connection. It is one with this natural world, this everything, the cosmos and the earth. Because in that oneness, you are a magician, you are an alchemist. And an important part of that creation process is that you are embodying this sacred union, this harmony between your yin and yang. And if you're embodying that, and you may feel you are embodying that, but you're still like, but I'm not manifesting. My world does not look like the way I want it to look. So then you have to look at your external world too. Are the people who you're surrounding yourself with, the environment you're in, the work environment, the home environment, are they people who you, or situations that you would consider in harmony? Because no matter how in harmony you feel, if your external environment is not in that harmony, it's going to make manifesting or creating a bit of an uphill slog. Sometimes we may feel we cannot do anything about that. However, what you could do while you are shifting and changing until you get to the point where you're going, I have to make a decision about that, I have to change it. But what you can do in the meantime is to come somewhere like this. Because here, the external world is in full harmony. It's reflecting that harmony that you know is your natural way. And so to sit somewhere like this and dream about what it is you truly desire in your life. And I mean, perfect day for me to be talking about this because we are just, 12, 15 hours after the new moon. So the energies are supporting this even more. And a Taurian new moon, even better. So bring yourself into an environment like this and dream. Dream those dreams that are in alignment with your path, your service, with who you truly are. And it's like that dream goes into the tree, it goes into the water. The elementals around hear that dream and help you co-create that dream. The external world is reflecting your internal harmony. And over time you will find that you have to have that external world or that harmony around you all the time. So your relationships will change, your work environment will change. Because it will be too difficult for you to hold your frequency in any situation that is out of alignment. And you might be finding that more and more now. And this is because we are becoming more powerful creators. We are co-creating New Earth. We are remembering who we are as creators. It's really powerful. You know, I've always had a connection with the elemental realm. I mean, as a child, you don't really think of it that way, do you? It's just natural. And when I was sitting here the other day, just a little way further down where I recorded the meditation, and I was thinking about when I was about 11, I think I'd just gone into high school, I wrote a poem called The Fairy Folk. And I started to think about this poem, and I realized that I remember it word for word. So I am going to recite it to you. There might be a few words here and there I've forgotten, but I'll just fill them in with something else. But I can remember it pretty well. I must have recited it in an Eisteddfod or something. I must have had to learn it at some point because it's still there. And it just fits so perfectly with this environment. So here's a little gift from my 11-year-old self. And what I love is it does have a little mention in a way of the magic, the manifesting ability of the elementals. Deep in a valley, far, far away, where the sky is deep blue and the mountains are grey, where birds are always singing from morning to night, where wishes come true with the blink of an eye, live the fairy folk. In the trunks of the trees, that's where they live. They sit from dawn to dusk, writing fairy tales for girls and boys, for elephants, worms and ducks, do the fairy folk. Then of a night time, when the world is asleep, out come the fairy folk to dance and to leap, over hill and down into dale, through the woods and along trails, until morning when light comes into the sky, and then the fairy folk say goodbye, and back to their trees they do fly. Then they write their adventures they had during the night. These are fairy tales. They write about princesses falling in love, princes who are turned into white doves, witches who are wicked and mean, castles which are every child's dream, knights in shining armour who kill ferocious dragons, horses that drive man-pulled wagons, devious stepmothers, talking animals, flying horses, dancing camels, fairies, gnomes, goblins, pixies. These are fairy tales. Deep in a valley, far, far away, where the sky is deep blue and the mountains are grey, where birds are singing from morning to night, where wishes come true in the blink of an eye, live the fairy folk. Was so perfect for this location, so I had to share that with you. And then interestingly, when my kids were young, when my youngest daughter was about 12 months old, we'd moved to the Byron Shire in northern New South Wales, to Mullumbimby, about a year before. And I did open a fairy shop. in one of the most popular cafes in town, there was a little shop attached, and I set up a fairy shop there. And so, and because my kids were little, I could just go into the full-on wishing. You know, we had a wishing well, a wishing room. Like, it was wonderful. So I've always had this elemental connection. So to come and sit somewhere like this and feel where the veil is thin between worlds, and feel this frequency of Middle Earth that is emerging. And one of the Roseline oracles who I channel is Galadriel. And she is the queen of the elemental realm. And I've found being here these past few days, her energy is just so strong. It is beautiful. And it's like, I talked about this in the meditation I recorded. It's like Middle Earth is overlaying now what we think of as 3D, and sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference because the 5D and the 5D and 3D are overlaying each other. So it's incredibly magical. So I hope that this little adventure with me in the New Forest has sparked some magic in your life, has maybe supported you in how you are going to create now, what you wish to have in your life, what your soul is longing for you to have in your life. And if you do want to listen to that meditation that I recorded here, oh my gosh, it was so magical. I've listened to it most nights because it just takes me on an incredible journey. But that meditation is a part of my Activate the Roseline in Europe's Sacred Sites meditation journey. So I'm making these videos for you in my time here in Europe as I walk the Roseline, but I've also made this special offer where I'm recording 8 meditations at different sacred sites to activate you, and they'll include channeling and as part of the meditation. But I recorded this meditation here the other day as a bonus one. So it's not automatically a part of those 8, it's an extra one. And I'm going to send it out on May the 1st to everyone who's joined by then. So if you wish to receive these meditations to enhance your experience of the videos I'm creating, I'll put the link below and join before April 30th, and you will get the bonus meditation from this beautiful place. So I hope that you can join me over the next 4 months at the many sites that I visit. They won't be all quite as peaceful as this. We've managed to avoid sounds, on the whole, people, planes. But they'll all be as powerful. Rose blessings to you.